A Medivac refugee on a hunger strike is now in critical condition in a Melbourne hospital after 35 days without food. The man, who cannot be identified, is part of a group of refugees being detained in Melbourne. They have been on a hunger strike since the 17th of June, demanding their release from detention. According to the Doctors for Refugees Facebook group, the man is too weak to speak and can only communicate via text. These are his words read by a voice actor.
I came to Australia in 2019 for treatment for mental and physical problems, but got no treatment. The opposite happens. In the detention centre, my problems get worse. I've been in detention for 8 years and I suffer every day for no reason.
An advocate from the Facebook group, Margaret Sinclair, says that while some detainees were released months ago, others wait without answers.
The people who've gone on to these hunger strikes are people who arrived under the Medivac laws, or most of them, and they've all got friends who were released in December or January, particularly January of this year, and for some unknown reason they've just been left behind in detention.
Sinclair says that Australian detention centres are unsafe environments.
The number of people going into detention appears to be more than the number of people coming out. So they're places of fear. They're places where human rights abuses take place.
Sinclair says that Australia detaining asylum seekers and refugees for almost a decade just because they arrived by boat is discriminatory and unfair.
Regardless of how someone has arrived, the claim just needs to be processed on the basis of what they've escaped from, not about their mode of transportation at all.
She says the Australian government's mistreatment of refugees needs to come to an end, and that they need to start taking their suicide attempts and self-harm more seriously.
Instead of just brushing them off and calling them emotional manipulation or something like that. There's nothing manipulative going on here except from the government itself. I think that the harm that has been done to these people might never be reversed because the way people experience ongoing, prolonged, indefinite detention is an experience of punishment and of brutal, intentional cruelty.
Margaret Sinclair urges people to speak out and to look for ways to bring about change.
If we don't stick up for the human rights of one group of people, we haven't really stood up for the human rights of anyone.
Savannah Pocock reporting for La Trobe Live.